Hello friends. So today we will continue with the load flow expression. There was some error in the last derivation that we did. So I will first review that error and then we will go further. So there was some error in which these equations were derived. So I will just highlight that error first. So let me show you what are the correct and incorrect. So first step is we have seen that this is equal to SI conjugate. The power which is injected in the ith bus, conjugate of that, which is Pi minus JQ. And we know that it is equal to Vi conjugate into II. This is easy to explain. This is not an error. Just I will explain it here with blue ink that SI is equal to Vi into II conjugate. And if I take conjugate on both sides, it becomes SI conjugate is equal to Vi into II conjugate, whole thing conjugate. And therefore it becomes Vi conjugate into II double conjugate, which is equal to Vi conjugate into II. Conjugate of conjugate is the same quantity. So this is correct. Yeah. So whatever I have written on the first step, that is perfectly right, because Vi into I conjugate into II, that will be equal to Vi conjugate, and II is nothing but the row in the Y bus, Yij into Vj. So this we have already done actually. This is done because it is a matrix where I can again explain this, no problem. We have got this matrix I1, I2, In. This is the bus current and that is related to bus voltage by this equation. I bus is equal to Y bus into V bus. This is V1, V2 containing this will be Vi containing this will be Vn. And this matrix, as we know, is called the Y bus matrix. So the entries are Y11, Y12. Let me correct this bit. Y1n, then Y21, Y22, Y2n. Continuing this, it will be Yi1, Yi2, Yin, and here it will last entry will be Yn1, Yn2, Ynn. So it is a n bus system, so Y bus will be n by n. This is n by 1 and this also is n by 1. What are these? These are the bus voltages, these are the bus currents. So Y bus matrix relates bus currents with bus voltages. So if we want to calculate II, this is our II. So this will be equal to this complete row of this matrix multiplied by this column. So that is why I will be yi1 into v1 plus yi2 into v2 plus yi3 into v3. In general, yii into vi plus yin into vn. So that is why I have written here sigma yij into vj. This is perfect. There is no problem about this. Then I split this up into two quantities. I separated this vi conjugate and yij into vj, j equal to 1 to n. I split into two terms when j is equal to I and j is not equal. So it will be yiivi plus yijvj, j equal to 1 to n, but j is not equal to I. Because j is equal to I, we have taken up here. So it is just a jugglery that we split this into two terms. One is containing only I and other containing other than terms than vi. So I have just split this into two terms. That is why I specifically write ij equal to 1 to n as here, but j is not equal to I. But because when j is equal to I, we have taken it. Okay. So then I simplify this vi conjugate into yii vi plus vi conjugate into yij into vj, j equal to 1 to n, but j is not equal to I. So this is also a correct step. So this step is also correct. Let me correct it with. So this step is also correct. Now I shift this complete term on this side and I want to evaluate vi in terms of all these terms. What I do, this complete term I shift to left hand side or in this case right hand side. So this is also correct that pi minus jqi minus vi conjugate sigma yij vj, j equal to 1 to n, j is not equal to I, will be equal to vi conjugate into yii into vi. Okay, this is also this up to this term it is correct. And here when we divide this by this expression, so we shift this term on the left hand side here, it becomes pi minus jqi minus vi conjugate sigma of yij vj, j equal to 1 to n, but j is not equal to I. This complete is equal to how much? Vi conjugate into yii into v. So I can write vi by dividing all this left hand side by vi conjugate into yii into vi conjugate. So this term is also okay. Only here this we have left it out vi conjugate. And therefore this vi conjugate and this vi conjugate cancels and this should not be there. This should not be there. So effectively I should have vi is equal to 1 upon yii pi minus jqi divided by vi conjugate minus this vi conjugate I should not have. I should rub this out. This is not. So it is just minus sigma yij vj, j equal to 1 to n, but j is not equal to I. So this is the expression for vi. Okay, so this is correct expression. This is correct expression. Now we still do not know how to solve it because we have to find the voltages at all the buses. So Vi is only one such expression. We will have to find, for example, V2, V3, V4, V5. If there are 5-bus system, we will have to find all these voltages. All these voltages formula is given here. Okay. So how to solve this? Because this is a set of simultaneous algebraic equations. And as I told you that this has to be solved using some numerical method. So how to solve it? So for that we will see one PowerPoint presentation. So this is the equation that we have to solve. So how to solve this? So for that, let us understand how to solve the equation by Gauss-Seidel method. So let us see that this is the function which we want to solve. So in the Gauss-Seidel method, what we essentially do is write the expression as in the form x is equal to f of x. So we have to write in this form x is equal to f of x. Now if this was the equation x square minus 3x plus 2, so I say that is equal to 0. So I can say 3x is equal to x square plus 2, or x is equal to x square divided by 3 plus 2 divided by 3. So it is in the form x is equal to f of x. So this is a requirement for Gauss-Seidel method, that x has to be expressed in terms of x. So we take the initial guess that starting, let us assume that x is 0 and substitute it on the right hand side. So when I substitute x0 on the right hand side, I get the new value of x. So that is my new value of x. So x0 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3, which is equal to, since x0 is 0, it will be 2 by 3. So this is my value of x in the first iteration. Now this again I put on the right hand side. So this 2 by 3, x will now instead of 0 it will become 2 by 3. So I substitute this here, 2 by 3. So I get 2 by 3 whole square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3, which is what I have written here. This is my new value of x. So this is 0.8149. Again, I substitute this 0.8149 in this expression. So the third value or the third iteration, I get the value of x as, after I substitute this 0.8149 in this expression, I get x is equal to 0.8149 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3. So I will get 0.9537. You can see. Now this 0.9537 again I substitute here in this case. So x is equal to 0.9547 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3. That is, I get 0.970. Again I substitute here 0.9704 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3. I get 0.9806. So how long should I continue? So if I am actually getting the right solution, then the left hand side and the right hand side will match. Okay. Or what we say that the equation will converge. So now you can see it is 0.9915, 0.9962, 0.9975. Okay. By the way, you know what is the solution of this? So x square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So the solution is actually x minus 2 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. So either x will be equal to 2 or x will be equal to 1. So depending upon the initial guess where we start, it might be possible that now it seems that we are landing towards 1.0. If you continue, go on iterating, you will get somewhere 1, which is also a solution. So if I substitute 1 here, 1 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3, I will get 1 only. This again I substitute back 1 square divided by 3 plus 2 by 3, I will get 1. So when my equation will converge, when I substitute on the left hand side the new guess, and that guess gives me the same exact value which is on the left hand side. So it does not change anymore. So that is when equation is converging. But generally we can't get this perfect convergence. So we say that if there is a not much difference, as we can see up to 2 point of decimals, we are getting the almost same answer. So at that point we stop. So this is how the process of numerical method works. Start with some initial guess, express the function in the form x is equal to f of x, start with some initial guess, put that value on the right hand side, see what is left hand side, evaluate. And whatever is the left hand side value, that becomes your new guess for the next iteration. Put that there. For example, here. Again evaluate. That will be your new guess for the third iteration, which is this. Then you get this. From here you get this. From here you get this. And this will continue like unless and until it has converged. So when it has converged, it will be 1.0. But we don't go up to that. We say that within certain accuracy, if we get certain tolerance, we will see that this is the value of the bus. Okay. Now I can't remove this, so maybe I have to go back and again clear this on the screen. I don't know if I will be able to clear this. Yes. Otherwise it stays, and now I will this also I should clear. It doesn't look nice. Now this is fine. Now we are solving simultaneous equation, which is what we will be using in our Gauss-Seidel. They are all, we have seen that it is just a simultaneous equations. So this is all these will be n simultaneous equations. So we have tried to express x as a function of x or vi as a function of vi. So that is what we have tried to see. So let me erase this also, otherwise this will also be troublesome for us. So now these are 4 simultaneous equations. In this case also we try to express them as in the form of x is equal to f of x. Now in this case you can see that I have put a horizontal bar over here, x, and horizontal bar over this. So this indicates that this is a vector consisting of x1, x2, x4. And this is the set of function which is f1 of x, f2 of x, and continuing f4 of x. So that is why this is f1, f2, f3, f4. This is again x1, x2, x3, x4. So just see that I have tried to express x in terms of x here. So in this case it is x1 is equal to f of x1, x2, x3, x4. This is x2 is equal to some function f2, x1, x2, x3, x4. Okay. Suffering from cold, so might be irritating to you. And in this case also we proceed in exactly the same way, that we had done. So we start with the initial guess of 0, 0, 0, 0. This also let me rub. 0, 0, 0, 0. And in these equations, I just substitute those values. Take the initial values on the left hand side and see. So x2 is 0, x3 is 0, x1 is 0, x4 is 0. So all zeros you substitute and whatever values of x1, x2, x3, x4. These are your solutions after first iteration. So x is equal to f of x. So you substitute on the right hand side with some starting value. So I assume that x is equal to 0 or x1, x2, x3 all are 0, x4. And then I calculate. And in this way I get the new values. So the new values are now 0.6, 2.73, 3272. Then this is minus 0.9873 and this is x4 is this. Now this becomes my new values for the next iteration. So in the next iteration, I will use these values of x1, x2, x3, x4 to find out further again what are the new values. So again on the side, I substitute this x1, x2, x3, x4 as this value now. Then I get this set of equations, this set of values. This again I substitute on the left hand side. So whatever right hand side values you get, you keep on substituting to the left hand side and repeat. So you can see that actual solution of this is 1, 2, minus 1, 1, and you can see that it is converging towards that. So I have shown only 4 iterations, it can be many more iterations, and then you can see that it is converging. So this is how the simultaneous algebraic equations are to be solved. So that is what I have expressed it here now, that this is now the right equation which I have corrected on previously. This is my correct equation. So Vi is equal to 1 upon Yii Pi minus jqi divided by Vi conjugate minus sigma Yi k Vk, k equal to 1 to n, but k is not equal to I because we already taken that as a separate entity. Okay, so this is a set of n simultaneous equations that we have to solve. So do you agree to this? If you have any doubts, you can just mail to me that you have not understood that particular thing. Okay, then we'll further consider. Now, these are all the equations. These are nonlinear equations. So what I do is, which side is nonlinear, for example? Which is the unknown? Vi is the unknown. Okay. Is Yi the unknown? No, it is not that. Vi is the unknown. Or V1, V2, V3, V4, Vn, all are unknowns, let us say. So here is the nonlinearity because this is 1 upon y, Vi. So in the linear equation we had seen that the linear part should always be some summation of the term which will contain only first power of the equation, that is it should be Vi to the power 0 or Vi to the power 1 and multiplied by a constant and just summation. This is not a linear equation, and then we try to linearize this equation, but forget about it right now. You don't need to care much about it. So then we try to solve this into 2, that we will start with some values, put those values on the right hand side, then we'll get a value of Vi. So solve for V1, V2, V3, V4, Vn. That is your next iteration value. Substitute it again on the right hand side. You will again get the new values of equation. So this is the Gauss-Seidel method that will work. So you can find out the solution of the power system by using a Gauss-Seidel method. There are other methods, but in your course it is only the Gauss-Seidel method that is working. So other methods are typically Newton-Raphson method, then fast decoupled load flow method. So I don't expect that you should know all these methods because they are not in your syllabus right now, but you should know at least the names. So what are the names? One is Gauss-Seidel method that we have learned. Another is the Newton-Raphson method. Third is fast decoupled. At least 3 methods are there in solve. Okay. So here we will stop and end the meeting, and again in the next lecture I will record one more.